Have you ever wondered how gravity works on Earth? Beyond? Why do things float in space?
Gravity is a force that governs motion throughout the universe. It holds us to the ground, it keeps the moon in orbit around the Earth, and all objects are similarly attracted to each other, but this attraction is minuscule among smaller objects.
Earth's pull of objects and the reach of its gravity is equal no matter the weight of the object. All objects on Earth will fall to the Earth at an equal rate. Scientists call this predictable acceleration freefall and have calculated it as 9.8 meters per second squared. At a critical point in falling towards Earth, an object will cease to accelerate any further and reach its terminal velocity. This is when the object falling cannot fall at any greater speed.
Zero gravity, or more accurately known as microgravity, is a small amount of gravity that exists everywhere in space.
Microgravity. She even told her that you could take a human hair and use it stretched out to push against a wall or a handrail.
Microgravity is the condition in which bodies and objects appear weightless. Keep in mind, though, that while gravity becomes weaker with distance, that is not why objects float. They float or appear weightless because they are in a constant state of freefall. Freefall is a state of perfectly acting forces. Freefall exists when other forces, such as air resistance, are removed, which allows gravity to act on all objects equally. In the space station, all objects, people, and machinery are falling towards and around the Earth. Everything in the space station is falling together, which causes the objects to appear to be floating. Newton demonstrated freefall with a thought experiment. Imagine placing a cannon at the top of a mountain. If the object is fired off slowly, then it will fall to the Earth. If it is fired super duper fast, then it will be launched out of Earth's orbit and achieve a continuous state of free fall that is following the curve of the Earth.
When you think of satellites, one image probably comes to mind. There are two types of satellites, natural and artificial. An artificial satellite is what the video just played. A natural satellite is an astronomical object that rotates the Earth like our moon. Both types follow the same orbiting laws. They're constantly falling around the Earth. Both satellites are kept in this pattern of motion because they're getting pulled downwards towards the surface of Earth by gravity. Objects that are moving at top speeds, around 17,500 miles per hour, can match the way Earth's surface curves. The curve of this high-speed object's fall perfectly matches the curve of the Earth. This means that they're constantly falling towards the ground but will never hit it. Instead, objects fall around the planet. In order to launch an artificial satellite into orbit, it must be sent into space on top of a rocket. In this context, the rocket is called a launch vehicle. Imagine a Russian nesting doll made out of explosive devices. This is what the launching process looks like. When the first rocket runs out of fuel, it breaks off and falls to the ground. What replaces it is stage 2. Multiple little rockets that contain their own fuel tanks explode out of it. Stage 2 is what sends the satellite into space. Once the launch vehicle is out of the Earth's atmosphere, the satellite separates again. The satellite is then sent into a transfer orbit that sends the satellite higher into space. Once it reaches the desired orbital height, it unfurls its solar panels and communication antennas, which has been stored away during the flight. The satellite then takes its place in orbit with the other satellites.